Welcome back, our dear viewers. The Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Sharif Fathi, inaugurated on Friday the Egyptian Pavilion at the 17th China Outbound Travel and Tourism Market, Qatar, in the Chinese capital, Beijing. To shed more light on that, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Yehya Abdul, our tourism counselor. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on ITV International. First, we need to learn more about that exhibition and also its significance.
Well, really, the CO WTM, like one of the leading travel and tourism exhibitions worldwide, and especially in the Asian continent. And Egypt has been participating, in the formal sessions, since its inception. And Dr. Sharif Fathi, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, he was heading an Egyptian delegations that you were at the displaying at the Egyptian Pavilion. 30 of them, like tour operators, airlines, and hotel corporations, the services and the facilities that Egypt offers to the Chinese and to the Asian market. So annually we receive over 250,000 Chinese tourists. So his tour and trip, at this time of the year, is very significant to promote the current and upcoming seasons, inshallah.
Sir, can you tell us more about the Egyptian Pavilion participating in the Qatar International Tourism Exhibition?
Well, basically, in all major travel exhibitions worldwide, there will be representing tour operators, hotel corporations, resorts, and cruising, the Nile cruises, between Luxor and Aswan.
Yes.
Egypt Air, is offering its journeys and a direct flight between Beijing and Cairo. And there's going to be media and press, and the Egyptian embassy, by Ambassador Abdul was represented, and the minister, he held a press conference to meet, investors and developers from China who are very interested to develop a project at the Giza Necropolis after last week soft opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Sir, indeed, huge efforts are exerted by the state in order to increase tourism in the country. How would such an event help in boosting and increasing tourism in Egypt?
Well, Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities participates at least at 30 major travel and tourism exhibitions and expos worldwide, because this is one of the direct instruments to promote travel, where stakeholders, buyers and sellers meet and exchange services and businesses. That's why Egypt is keen to participate in the international one, and the Minister of Tourism, he is represented Egypt in most of these exhibitions annually and worldwide.
Yes, indeed, sir. To what extent, as you have kindly mentioned, sir, that with our participation in such a pavilion and such an exhibition in China, we could attract more tourists from China and broaden our tourism flow from the whole of the Asian continent?
Well, it's, there's hundreds of, of thousands of attendants and participants and stakeholders worldwide, because China really is about 1.4 billion of the world population, and they spend nearly over $100 billion on travel annually, because the volume and the welfare of the Chinese people who travel to Europe, to the US, to Africa, to Egypt, and to the Gulf states as well. So it's a very one of the significant influential markets that governments try to focus and open its delegations and tourism offices to attract Chinese investors and visitors, and as well as there are major industrial influential capitals in China, Beijing, Shanghai, so Egypt at one point we had an office tourism promotion in Beijing. So we need to open again these offices to generate business like now.
Indeed.
Sir, how do you see the significance of tourism for the economies of the countries in general and for Egypt in particular?
Well, the tourism industry generates between 12 to 15% of the gross domestic product in Egypt, and it is one of the major tools to generate foreign exchange, and it has like a multiplier effect. So I mean, like about 10% will be like about 24% to promote and develop the economy. So really we need to spend more effort. At this point we have like about 25 tourist offices worldwide. This number now has been reduced. So I look forward that the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities reopen the offices. We used to have 4 offices in North America, now we don't have none. So we need to open the offices in Japan, China, in Rome, and France, and most of all the capital, to capitalize on our, antiquities and their reputation as one of the leading, the Financial Times, the Guardian, NBC, all the world media are talking about the soft opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Indeed. Sir, how would such marketing campaigns and exhibitions which are held worldwide to attract more tourists and to market for our beautiful destinations that the tourists should come and visit is representing actually a real effort exerted by the Ministry of Tourism to attract more tourists to Egypt, as well as with all the development and work done to our touristic site as well. How do you see that effort exerted, sir, so far, and what more we should witness in the coming future?
Well, the strategy for tourism development is to reach 30 million visitors by the year 2030. Yes. And this will not be guaranteed unless, as I said, we need to reopen our tourist offices worldwide, all the way from Japan to San Francisco, to make sure that, we have permanent presence in world capital as we used to do, so we can be accessible 24/7 to join the events, to mix with the media, to generate fan trips. So this is very strategic, to reach this number of 30 million visitors, inshallah.
God's will.
So why is the Chinese market so significant for Egyptian tourism?
Well, it is, we nearly opened the office in the year 2000, for the first time. And it was so successful. So it's one of the top generating travel markets worldwide, as I said, because of the healthy Chinese economy and the wealth and affluence, of the population. So when you have a rich, the procuring economy, that means you are going to generate more business. So we have Egypt already flying direct to Beijing, and China Airways as well. We need to have more airlines and more charter flights between Egypt and China, which is nearly a continent, and to open at least 2 or 3 tourist offices promotional to Egypt and the Chinese subcontinent.
Indeed. Dr. Yehya Abdul, our tourism counselor, thank you so much, sir, for your precious input. Always a pleasure. Our dear viewers, with that we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show, coming to you by myself, Maïsi Rabia, and I had all the pleasure to be working today with my very dear colleague, Basmanta. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Maïsi. Thank you so much.
Until tomorrow with another quote. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.